the WNBA is losing money, and it's going to lose money for the foreseeable future. There is a big but here. These figures, by the way, are absolutely not. It says here, the first report salary from the player side, per documentation obtained by ESPN, November's 28 proposal featured a projected salary cap of 12.5 million, average of 1 million per player salary, max salary of 2.5 million. That's not going to happen. The reason why is because
the room went completely silent. Phones stopped buzzing, conversations froze. And according to people inside the league office, the WNBA commissioner was absolutely furious. The moment Caitlin Clark's new Nike commercial dropped, everything changed. Not just the headlines or social media buzz, but hundreds of millions of dollars tied to the league's future. What happened next has insiders whispering one word behind closed doors: disaster. For months, Caitlin Clark wasn't just a rookie. She was a moment. Sold out arenas, record-breaking TV ratings, and merchandise flying off shelves. Then Nike stepped in with one commercial. Simple, clean, ruthless. No league logos. No commissioner speeches. Just Caitlin Clark, and a message that shifted the balance overnight.
I'd be saying, what does that mean? If it was only the owners signing off on this would be signed already. Because you might be saying, oh, WNBA owners don't want to lose money. $700 million of losses. There will be, by the end of this deal, there will be 20 WNBA teams. That is $35 million per WNBA team over the course of, I think, 7 years. That is $5 million a year lost per team, while franchise values are increasing by 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 million a year. Like, every single owner would say yes. The problem is that insert person here, insert investor here that was in 2022, insert NBA owner that has nothing to do with the WNBA here, insert all of them people here, because at the end of the day, these people they're only in this for...
No team came first in that message, just Caitlin Clark. Buckets, confidence, and undeniable star power. Within hours, fans weren't talking about the WNBA at all. They were talking about Caitlin Clark, the brand. That's when panic reportedly reached the top. Inside league circles, insiders say the reaction was explosive because the WNBA wasn't just watching a player win. They were watching control slip away. The Nike ad didn't promote the league, didn't push a collective message, and didn't ask for permission. It exposed the brutal truth. Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. And that reality made people at the top deeply uncomfortable. What followed was a proposal insiders claim was designed to protect the league: revenue restructuring, stricter sponsorship control, and tighter rules around individual branding. On paper, it looked like power. In reality, analysts immediately warned it could cost up to $700 million in long-term growth. Why? Because you don't cage your biggest attraction, you don't silence the voice bringing in new fans, and you don't slow momentum when the world is finally watching. But the proposal moved forward anyway, and fans noticed.
You feel more comfortable that I could maybe dunk in a few weeks or get better at shooting?
In a few weeks? Oh boy. Is that what we're calling that? All you need is a few
30
weeks.
days.
30 days. 30 days what I'm going for.
I told him he had to lose at least 20 pounds and get the technique down perfectly.
I think you need to start with like a tennis ball. Then you get a tennis ball, you go to like a volleyball, then you go to a basketball. I mean, don't ask me. I obviously don't dunk.
Are you dunking?
Heck no. I could maybe like grab the rim, but like I just shoot through.
The backlash was immediate. Social media erupted with one question over and over again: why punish the only reason I'm watching? Fans accused the league of sabotaging its own star, calling it allergic to success. Former players spoke out. Media voices openly questioned the leadership. Sponsors, quietly and carefully, began reconsidering future deals. And through all of it, Caitlin Clark said nothing. No tweets, no interviews, no clapbacks, just hoops. Somehow, that silence spoke louder than any statement ever could. That's when things turned truly dangerous for the league. Marketing experts started breaking it down, and the conclusion was clear. Caitlin Clark wasn't just short-term revenue. She was long-term value. Young fans, new demographics, global reach. And if the league appeared hostile to its own biggest star, that money wouldn't vanish. It would walk away, straight to brands, endorsements, and platforms completely outside league control. That's where the $700 million nightmare comes from. Not one lost deal, but years of missed opportunities slipping away.
Problem is that even though each team is losing 5 million, on average, the owners are profiting, but it's those 58% of people, and they're eating losses. They're funding this league. They're not going to continue. 58% of people who will never see the profits are not going to continue funding the league, and that is the situation we're in. Is that I don't think people realize how dire straits we're in. Is that the 58% might literally dissolve the league. It is better for the 58% to dissolve the league because as long as the league's not profitable, franchise value doesn't matter for them. Literally, it is the fact that they sold money off to investors and they expect those investors like the NBA and those outside investors to continue to fund a loss leader. And people are like, oh, they can write it off as taxes. These billionaire owners. Not everything's a billionaire owner. And by the way, people don't understand. It's like, oh, write it off as taxes. You're still losing the money. You're like, oh yeah, you don't pay tax on it. It's like, but there's nothing for it. Like, it's not a play thing for these things, for these teams. Nobody just wants to burn money. Nobody burns money. Even if it is for taxes, that's not how it works. If you lose 5 million, you don't pay 5 million less in taxes. If you lose 5 million based on corporation tax, you might pay $1 million less in taxes. You're still losing 4 million from your company. Corporation tax. What is corporation tax in States? I know it's only 12.5% here, but we're a tax haven, so shout out corporation tax, baby. Saved me a boatload of money. But yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think people realize just how dire straits the WNBA is in, that we're at a situation now where there is a possibility that they could just say, fuck this, we're done. We don't want it.
Here's the clean cinematic rewrite with stronger flow and a sharper ending. Here's the wildest part. The WNBA spent decades fighting to be taken seriously, and the moment a true crossover superstar finally arrived, the league panicked. Instead of riding the wave, it tried to steer the ocean. But stars don't move like organizations. They move culture. And Caitlin Clark had already done exactly that. Now, insiders say the atmosphere is tense. Very asterisk tense. Because every game Caitlin plays, every highlight she drops, every kid wearing her jersey proves the same thing. You can't manufacture a phenomenon. You either embrace it, or you lose everything chasing control. So here's the real question. Did the WNBA just gamble with its future? Or is this the moment that finally forces the league to evolve? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you saw this coming. Subscribe if you want the real stories they won't say out loud. Because the Caitlin Clark story is only just beginning.